Let everyone in. Good morning. Here they all come. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Sarah's back from lovely Europe, right? Ireland. That's exciting. All right, welcome everyone. Appreciate everyone being here. We've got a few new faces. Mark, thanks so much for being here as well. We got Jessica. Sorry we didn't get to say hi to you yesterday on tour, but I did see a walk in. So we will go ahead and start. I'm sure there'll probably be a few more people that are coming. Christine, you're here. Welcome. Thank you very much. We got Linda Taylor in the house. So thank you for being here as well. I will go ahead and share my screen here for everyone to see, because I want first, any questions? I know we had there's some, how many people got to hear me last week go without breathing for 20 minutes?
I did.
So it was crazy. It was quite fun because my wife was here and she says, "Eric, you didn't even breathe." And and I wanted to get a lot in. So I believe yesterday they were taking that clip and putting that clip and then allowing that to go out to a lot of the taking the whole symposium and dividing it up into smaller increments is kind of what they were doing. So that would go. And then they also called and interviewed me yesterday. But anybody have any particular question about anything that we went over, or any thoughts or anything that kind of like, ooh, he went so quick, I would love to know about something? If you come across it, I'll jot down a note or put it in the chat, and then we can kind of chat about it a little bit. Okay. All right. So I wanted to kind of go over a little bit today about follow-up and what kind of things and some ideas that we can do to better follow up with clients, things that have been beneficial to me, a few little systems that we want to do, but how to maintain a high level of success, but also maintaining your sanity. Because there's a lot of times in real estate that we just feel like it's just insane and we're just bouncing from one thing to another. And there's often times where my wife I'll come home and she goes, "What'd you do today?" And I feel so busy that you just go, I just can't remember. It was just so much go, 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 go. And so we want to make sure that we're kind of organized. Hopefully some things that we'll talk about today that will help us be organized. And again, I enjoy doing this because it helps me, refocus refocus. Because today I told my wife before I left today, I said, "Hey, we have a remodel day." And so, remodel day, what's a remodel day? And I love actually taking at least one day, maybe two, to be in the office and just kind of not necessarily remodel the office, but just remodel, like build, work on the business and just kind of mold it into kind of something better each and every day. So if we can take something and add something to our business every week and change and tweak something to make it better, that's what it's all about. You can't, there are days where you'll get done with your day and you'll say, "Oh, I never got to what I needed to get done today." And it's kind of depressing. And I shared this with Jody, and I guess maybe it's coming out on some interview as well, but I shared with her yesterday that, but if that happens, don't just go home and feel like, "Oh, that was just bad." I take and upright, I didn't get my 3 things that I needed to get done today. So I write them on a piece of paper right here. And it just makes me feel subconsciously better that tomorrow I know what I need to do, and I need to get that stuff done first before I even do anything else to be able to accomplish that day. So it gives me a plan is what that does. So we've talked a lot about your systems, utilizing email templates, which we're going to talk about today. We just can't trust your brain to say, "Hey Siri, hey Google." Wouldn't that be nice though if I said, "Hey Sarah, give me the answer." "Hey Jana, give me the answer." And you guys just knew the answer. It was like, boom, it would just be amazing. And sometimes if you ask Siri some questions, you get some weird answers. So, it's just a scary place in our head. So we want to get that CRM, we want to get that management, and we're going to go over a little bit about checklist a little bit today. today. Utilize those tasks to feature in your CRM. You can get a planner. You could set up an email folders, flags, emails that you need attention later. Schedule your day into 10 to 15 minute increments. You can use Google Spreadsheets. We're going to talk about that a little bit, about what you guys use today if you have a Drive account or what you use. So, you guys, we need to live in our CRM all day long, wherever you're keeping your people. If you're not in there every single day, and that's our very first thing we do every single morning, get into our CRM and say, okay, what do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Who are my top? And we're going to just kind of keep it real simple today. And I'll share a couple ideas on that. So if you're not in your CRM every day, you need to be. And there's this word, it's called confibulation, I think is what it's called. And I've got this banner for it. And it's basically kind of teases the mind where you say, hey, I do it. Oh yeah, I prospect. Oh yeah, I work out. Oh, I eat healthy. But then when you really sit back and think about it, wow, that was a big old double cheeseburger with bacon last night, and that was got a great 6-egg breakfast. And so you go, yeah, I prospect, and then you kind of think, well, did I really prospect? If I get done with the day and I said, what did I do in prospecting today? And if I didn't do anything, I do feel a little bit depressed, or I feel like it was not the successful day that I could have had. So you need to make sure. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Last week on Thursday, I talked about dividing your leads in your lists. Have you guys done that yet? Raise of hands. Has anybody taken all your individual people in your database and divided them up? Have we done that? No. So we need to do that, guys, because I don't know how many people have more than 8,586 people in your database. Anybody top that? You got some no's. Jessica, you're almost there. So, we've got this, that's a high number, and it probably has already grown, because I know we've got about 40 or 50 leads in the last couple of days. So I can't do anything with that. I could do mass group emails. I could just, which I do, you do a big database, and I do once a month, I do a market update as I send out to that database. So they'll actually know, and I'm not talking to all those people. There's impossible for me to talk to all those people. So there's probably a ton of business in there that might be getting dropped. There might be people, but then I will tell you, the offer I wrote yesterday was somebody that was just in that system, and then she rose to the top because my CRM system kept saying she's actually looking at things. She's looking at things. And then I went, okay, then that gives me a task, or gives me an action item, that I went in and actually called her and said, I see that you're looking at few more homes. Are there any that you want to see like in person? Oh, absolutely. Let's go out and look at them. So a week ago, we started looking at homes, and we wrote one yesterday, which of course we wrote the only one of the 6 that had multiple offers. So that's fun. So I want you guys to go in, and this is just a list that I break down, and I take down, a VIP as my program that we talked about. They're like, my VIP people are people that live here locally, that I've sold homes to, or people that I have given me reviews or referrals of people that if I do my free gift giveaway, there are people here locally in my VIP club. I do have a VIP elite club that I haven't, it's launching, but probably next year, but there's a lot more involved to that. People who I'm showing now. So yesterday I took the people who I was, actually I have one that's future listings and about to list. So yesterday I said, I have 10 minutes. Who should I prospect today? If I had 10 minutes and I said, hey, Linda, I've got 10 minutes to prospect, where would you go? Would you take maybe 5 minutes just to figure out who you're going to call? So if I went straight to my about to list and I went, I've got to talk to these people. There's people who said, I'm ready for pictures in a couple of weeks. And I think I have 32 people in that list. And so I called them up and I said, hey, I just started busting out 5 people in that 10 minutes and said, what do you need? How are you doing? Yeah, we're packing. We're almost there. Probably another 2 weeks. Great. Let's move on. So then I just would and I'm going to go over what I do with them and then check and move on and put them in another task later, which we'll share that in just a moment. So if you're working the expired listings, if you're working any list that you guys want to put, and maybe you guys only have like 5 people. So maybe if you have 5 people in your database right now, that's probably all leads in database. But if you don't sit there and actually move them and group them in some certain places now, when you end up getting 8,000 people or 200 people or 300 or 500, because you guys can take a Facebook group list, you you could take all your group people and you can download that in your CRM. And a lot of the times it actually sucks in all their email addresses and everything as well. So you could then start building that. We're doing a real cool contest here in winter for holidays of like, hey, you've got company coming over, let's clean your house. Let's have one of our cleaners come over and actually clean your home for you. So we're doing a contest on that. But in that Google document that we're actually creating, we're saying, I need you to, if you want it, if you want to nominate someone, which will be kind of fun if I nominated, Sarah to clean her house, because would that offend Sarah if I said, Sarah, your house is a little dirty, I'm just sending a cleaner. So you got to have to be careful on the contest. But what I'm doing is I'm actually taking and gathering more information, taking people's email addresses and adding that. And when you guys talk to people, yesterday I had this guy named Ernie that calls me up and I go, boy, that name looks really familiar. And so he calls me, he goes, hey, I need to ask you a question about property management. And I went, okay, boy, that name looks real familiar. And I just, I have right there, my CRM is already open. I put in his name and I went, wow. 2016, somehow, some way he got in there and he was calling on the magazine that we had just sent him and asking questions. So it was pretty impressive that some way back, and I said, yeah, it looks like in 2016 you called on this particular house, and I'm reading it. He's like, wow, you have a really good memory. I'm like, yes. And so I know where he lives, I know what parcels. Now he's got 3 vacant pieces of land and a rental house with 2 homes on a rental property with 2 homes. And so now we're again, and I only had his address and his name. So what did I do yesterday? I said, hey, what's your best email address? And now I captured his phone number. So now I take my database and I'm increasing that. And I moved him from a unknown thing or just a lead, because most of that 8,000 people are just in a lead. And I moved him to about to list, whether it be, a month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't know, maybe it's a year, but now I at least can actually target him a little bit better and discuss things a little bit, and send more appropriate emails and calls to him that will better benefit our relationship to build up. So he's going to go on a list where I will be reaching out to him once a month. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit too, whether it's going to be a call or whatever it might be. But I want to just keep that relationship, because when I call up and Sarah calls me and goes, hey, Eric, this is Sarah. Hey, and all of you guys, you guys call and I go, oh, hey, Sarah, how are you? Because now Sarah and I, Jessica, we all have relationships. And sorry for picking on you guys, because you're the 2 pictures I see right here. So I know there's more below. So we'll pick on Angie next, or somebody, or Tim, but I won't ask. So anyway, I just see your faces, so I kind of put you guys in there. So a lot of times is that you just have that opportunity. So if Ernie calls, or if I call Ernie and Ernie goes, oh, hey, Eric, how are you? So now we actually are my brother's here again 2 times, and he's only comes on Friday mornings. So what does is that now that allows this relationship, that if I call and they go, now who are you again? Now who are you? That tells me that I'm nowhere near having that relationship where if they all of a sudden say, I want to list my house, they're going to call me, because they're not going to, because they just forgot my name for 30 days. But if you continue to talk to them every 30 days until they're ready, if he's 1 year, 2 years down the road, then you're there. And so I provided services. I had somebody else the other day called me and asked me about property management and stuff. So make sure you have all your property managers and all your people inside your phone, because I just rattled. Actually, she called me about appraisers. She wanted to know about appraisers. And I gave her 3 or 4 appraisers right on my phone. Boom, 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 boom. And she was like, wow, that was so amazing. Thank you so much. You've been so helpful. Hey, keep me in mind. And so, these are just things that you can kind of give back to people, and it's important. All right. But there are different things, sellers and buyers are different. And so you need to make sure when you divide these up, when Sarah sells a house and she puts them in, and now they are in the database as a buyer, right? So she's got a buyer, she's working it, it closes, she hugs them, she gives them all sorts of love. And now what do you do in the database? And one of my checklists at the very end is make sure the database is correct. And I want you guys to know that you need to be so heavy in your database that every quarter that you need to go through and print the sheet, print it, see where they're at. I've had people who have moved. I had somebody yesterday said, yeah, we moved. And I said, oh, great. Can I have your new address, please? Because in that way, all my literature and everything gets, to that location. But so now Sarah's going to take her buyer, and now she's going to change her into a seller. Okay, so you're going to change in the database. You mark it down. Now she's a seller. You can keep people. Most of your CRMs will keep people in a buyer and a seller status, because you don't want to, instantly think they're never going to buy another home, or maybe they want a second home. I had somebody this morning that wants to go look at a second property. So then if he calls me, and now I'm going to change him to a seller and a buyer. So now when I go and I do a mass email on buyers, or how the market's doing on buyers, is it a buyer's market, or I go back and look for listings, now I can actually divide that a little bit better and conquer that a little bit better. So I want you guys, and I shared this a little bit, I want you guys never to leave someone in your CRM without what the next task is. Never leave it and say, okay, Sarah, thanks so much. I appreciate it. You're thinking about 2 more weeks. Great. And then if you hang up that phone and don't put a task in there, in 2 weeks, after all that food that we eat and the Thanksgiving and the service that we provide, and all of a sudden it's 3 weeks later and 4 weeks later, and you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, oh, I cannot believe I did not call that person. This is so embarrassing. And now you have to make a phone call and say, I was supposed to call you 2 weeks ago, but you don't say that. What I love to say is that, hey, as promised, you mentioned that you wanted me to give you a call in 2 weeks, and today's the second week. How are you doing? So what that just did is it just made that, wow, they remembered. Wow. So I kind of put that little verbiage there in the beginning. You asked me to call, or I promised that I would call, or however you want to state that. So then there I am following up with them. And then they should say, oh yeah, hey, Eric, how are you? And then you're basically now having a conversation about the weather, the kids, and all that type of stuff before you even talk about your home. And that's kind of where that relationship comes in. So always say, and I always look at this, and I know Shannon, my wife always says, you got to call more people, because I'm more of just a texter and an emailer, and just kind of like, it's so much easier for me just to text Sarah versus calling her. But you're losing that opportunity. If you do emails every single time, then you're probably never going to build that relationship with them, because how many people actually come in the mornings, I look at your emails and you're like, swipe, 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 without even opening them up, because that they're sales calls, and they're, I wouldn't do that to you, Jessica. I always read yours. Okay. Just to let you know. So, so it's important to take that opportunity. So if you put them on some type of drip system, and I put them in CRM, my CRM says, am I going to text them, call them, or email them? And I put a little note and say, I need to call them this time. Please check on this. I need to email them as okay on the next one, or text. And then you can go in your CRM system and you can see what you've done and where you've actually spoken to them. And feel free to reach out to people on the craziest ideas. I mean, I've got somebody who has a son that lives in Grand Pass, Oregon. And so I want to call him up and say, how's the market in Grand Pass? I might be looking at like a duplex up there. And then just that gives me an opportunity to call my friend who I've sold 3 or 4 houses to be able to have that conversation and chat with them. All right. So never leave your CRM without immediately going over and checking what the next task, add a task to them. Your system. These are just some basic systems that you guys just have to have. And there's a ton of them. We counted this morning. My password sheet has, what did I say, 140? It's 140 passwords on my password sheet that I actually have. And so of different things that I have, not all systems, but you need to have a CRM system. You guys need to pick how you're going to get your leads, what system that you're going to do, business development. I'm not a big fan of buying leads, but there were a time where you just had to do it. You had to buy something. What type of system you're going to do for, I know Christine's got some fun systems that she has that help her with her social media content that actually post for her. So then she has that kind of automatic assistant that you can do. I have a video system. You guys can use whatever you want. I don't care if it's your cell phone, whatever CRM system you're using. People ask me, hey, what's the best one? Is basically anyone. The one you're using is the best one until you find something different. A video system, your phone. I mean, this is totally fine. Hey, this is Eric Hatch. How are you? It's video system. And I love some of you guys that you guys actually now are responding back to me using video, which is kind of fun. So it's kind of like, oh, this is fun. And so then I get to watch. And so it makes me want to open those up way more than if it was just an email and I go, okay, I'll read that in just a moment. But if I see a video and the sweet face pops up, I'm all, oh, click, let's watch this. And then you get to listen to them. And so it just makes it a little bit more personal on that. So how many people have a Drive account? account? Do you guys have Drive and Google Drive? Yeah, we've got a couple people. If you don't have a Drive account, you need to get one because A, it will free up your computer space. B, I love it because I use a Drive account where then I can go in and I can save a document and then I can go share that document. I can do presentations and share those presentations to the buyer checklist, to the, different things for the buyer, the seller, things for their inspections and my listing presentation. I just did a new marketing presentation and updated my marketing, which then I had a client critique it. He says, you were speaking too fast in the first minute and a half. So I'm going to redo that one. So he's really cool. He's a marketing guy, but I'm trying to get his listing at the same time. So I'm going, oh, that's great. So I listened to him. So I did a new marketing. I sent it to him the next morning. How's this? And now hopefully he'll pick me to sell his home. But those type of things are important to have on a Drive because you can do a shared link. Make sure if you ever do that, there's a private link and there's a shared link inside your Drive. And your Drive needs to be organized because is my Drive organized right now? Yeah. Okay. I got a yes. Because there's a lot of times that there's folders in there. And when you drag things in there, then if you don't look at it every couple months, you got 1,000 documents down below, maybe not that many, but a couple hundred documents that you got to go place those in. And those generally I think I've shared this with you. I do my organization of my picture deletes. I do my home screen deletes, and I do my Drive organization when I leave on vacation or on the airplane. Those are kind of the times when I actually organize everything just to get it, because what else you can do on the airplane? Watch a movie? Are you nuts? But it's good. All right. Yes, I've watched a couple movies. All right. So, the CMA, you've got to have a CMA program, which I know that there's some out there that are free. There's some that you can go pay for. Some type of postcard. I love with the Select system that they allow us to, Dan does half your postcards. I got a call I got 2 calls recently on a just sold postcard. And what you do, guys, just a pro tip, when you do the CRM and you get a new lead, if you're lead generation, you want to put on there where they actually came from. And so one of them I've got probably 20 different lead sources that I put postcard or Google or whatever it is, Yelp. And so I want to know where they actually came from. So if they did come from business development or they did come from another lead source that you owe a referral to, you don't get to the very end, you get your $10,000 check, you cash it, you go spend it, you leave on vacation, and then your TC goes, hey, were you supposed to pay a referral on that? Oh, that's really nice. And then you got to write a $2,500 check back to them to be able to pay the referral. And guess who just paid taxes on that $2,500? We did. So that's one of my things. And actually, if you can see on the closing or on the sheet that the TCs and the people give you, there is a place right there that says, is there a referral to be given out? So make sure that you say yes or no to that. And I love it when you close a big one and all of a sudden you look at it and go, where'd they come from? Where'd they come from? Oh, Google. Yay. I don't have to pay a referral. So it's like more money for Shannon. All right. So what we've got is, and then social media platforms, make sure. And I'm really, pretty excited about that and pumped up that they all need to be the same. And I know it's a whole different class about branding, but kind of have the colors, your picture, things that kind of look the same. You notice that I know that Sweet Madison over here is starting to use a different picture in a black shirt the other day that I noticed that was popping up on something because I'm usually in that white shirt. She's trying to switch it up a little bit. Now she's rebranding me. So, but my signs and everything have like one picture, one face. And then somebody told me the other day, they said, you look much more handsome in person than in that stupid business card. You probably should redo that one. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the comment. So anyway, and then I had, anyway, that's another. So I want you guys to keep it really simple. I want you guys to, block out 10, 15 minutes at a time and just call 5 people. I want you just to go and just say, who am I going to call? I shared this with Jody and Desiree yesterday because yesterday I knew I was headed out to Cool and I was going to just take off and I knew I was going to have about an hour and a half in the car. So before I left in the hour and a half on the car, what am I going to do in an hour and a half? You know, do I have a podcast to listen to? Do I have some training to do? So I put together a list of, 7 people that I needed to make phone calls to and chat. Most of the time while driving, though, I don't think I got all of them because most of the time Madison kept calling me and we just chatted for yesterday, an hour and 10 minutes on the phone. But what I do with Madison, which is really fun, is I actually when somebody else calls in, I actually merge the calls. So then she can actually listen to that agent talking about this, or she could listen to the agent calling about the offer or the RRR or something. So I don't bring her into everyone, but I want her to also listen because I love it. Yesterday when we're talking, I'm there and I go, okay, let's talk about the counter. I did the counter. And then I look over and the counter is already up and she already wrote it and from all our verbiage. And I'm like, yeah, you need to get one of these girls. Yeah. Yes. So it's fun. So keep it nice and simple on that. So let me go in and share a little bit here that you guys can take pictures. You guys can, go back and hit pause on this. I ended up taking, or Madison, sorry, give her credit. She ended up taking my whatever 100 and something videos that we've done every Friday for trainings. And she's actually made them now public on YouTube. So you can probably find them a little bit easier. But I wanted to share on this, on the templates, and I just have this is me here, but I want you guys to make this a little easier. And I know we talked about the CRM, but then there was in that first slide that talked about templates. And I want you guys to know there's so many times where we'll actually type something, we'll do a video on something. Yes, sometimes it needs to be personal because I want to say, hey, Linda, this is what's going next. Hey, this. But if I just go, hey, guys, this is what's going on. Thank you so much for signing that listing agreement. I saw that it came over. And so here's what's going to happen next. Boom, pictures, boom, this. I actually do some generic stuff and do a video. Every once in a while, I'll go, man, maybe it was a little bit too personal. Maybe I shouldn't say that. So I want to make it a little generic. So I retake it. But now I have those ready. So now if I'm gone, like this morning, I wasn't gone, but I just said, hey, Madison, can you please send a video? I don't know what I said, but send a video to the 7-day home warranty reminder to the people that they're on the checklist and they needed to send a video. So like you could say, I've got buyers. I wish this would actually allow me to, manage this a little bit more, but this is one I used, looking to buy a home, on that. And so we've got a couple buyer ones in here. So now what happens is that if I'm gone, I might say, hey, Madison, or let's blast out to this list of 200 people. Are you looking to buy still in 2021? Are you looking, there's a couple up here. There's about to list check-in. Here's my first review email that it's all set up in here. So I don't have to go retype this. I used to, if you can't get this in here, I used to go over here and I used to have them in my folders where I could come up here and I could actually grab these out of here and then just click and paste here. But then that's just too much. I used to go to BombBomb and do all my birthdays right out of BombBomb. And now that, now I'm going into 2 different things. So now I've just created and just say, you know what, you guys, where's my birthday one? So I can just come in here and I could do, I've got my free pumpkin pie. So if somebody, missed that and I can resend that back out. And how many do I have? 37? Yeah. So I have 37 pies that I'm delivering, which will be quite, 30, almost 40. All right. So we got 2 more. So it's fun. So, it's an opportunity. I'm not going to deliver all those. I think I switched it to have some people actually come and meet me here, which would be nice. But this is the one that I did on, and I'm using this app right here, guys, called Big, B-I-G. And it just, I used to use a clipboard that I just would handwrite something on there and just shine the picture. But this gives some, opportunity for what is that? He's actually has this or play this video. So it just makes the open rate a little bit more. But, if somebody gives me a review and then I come back, it's got my second one. Here's my, hey, don't forget to use the home warranty, because there's so many people that will just forget that we even have a home warranty. And so now I put, don't forget to use the home warranty. And I think one of these, actually, I put a bunch of my client or my vendors down here too. So I put, good deals for home sellers, for potential sellers, 7 things you should do to prepare your home for sale. And I make these goofy looking faces, it's, you can actually reshoot that a couple times or retake the template or the thumbnail, but I put that in there. And so this is just, hey, here's my inspectors, guys, my inspectors, the people that I use, if you guys need anything. So this, because we have a huge list of lead generation of potential listings that are coming in. That's probably 300 to 400 people in that. And then, then I want to send this out. Then you get emails that at least weed out. They say, hey, we already listed our home, or yeah, please come sell my home. So, you can just kind of keep cleaning that. I got a FSBO tools that we've got, an email that kind of goes out for them. I got potential seller. Oh, that was that one there. Listing paper sign. What's next? So it's a 1 minute video. I like that it puts this. Now, if you want to shoot a video and you can upload that video and use that as another YouTube channel where you can then drop this in, because this allows me to go straight to BombBomb, but I can put in a picture. I actually have lots of pictures that I put a picture in here. Then the picture then allows me to do a link that I can actually see this little button. I can link the picture to, wherever I want to go, to a BombBomb, to a Loom video. You can do those as well. You've got listing paper sign. Now what? There's my Core 100 invite, which is another whole entire class just about to close. This is the seller video that goes through, and it's a PowerPoint presentation that links right into to Drive. So now here it is. Now this is why I use Bitly, because if you use this and you just go, if I just send this out of Drive, it's going to go blah, 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 all the way over. It's like, that looks a little scarier. But if this just says seller signing and utilities, so then it's a little bit, nicer and shorter it's a free Bitly, is a free, shorten your little URLs. Looking to buy a second home that you can do. Is it a buyer's market? Where are we at? This is the birthday one. I think I shared this with you. My sister-in-law made that cake and just on Christmas and just popped it in there and just utilized it, for that. Seller welcome before, this is a really big one. This is one I probably send out the most. Now you got to remember, if you got these templates, don't just send it and says address. You have to tweak a little bit to customize it. So I'll put their address here. But this is the one. It was so much time for me to go in, send an email and out of the system, go copy the link in my marketing plan, go copy the Yelp, why choose Eric Hatch, go copy that, go copy everything. Okay, now here 10 minutes later, I send an email out to a potential seller. Now all I do is I come right here. If I sometimes, this is a generic one that we can send out of people. Actually, we send this one out to people that just come in and then it gets automatically sent to them. But if I actually pick up the phone and talk to them and they call me or I talk to them, I actually will, I'll just backspace this, the video disappears and I'll put a new one in and then I will call them by name. So then it's actually a little bit more personal is what it is. And say, I can't wait to actually meet with you tomorrow. I just wanted to share a little bit, put a face to a name. Hey, just by the way, take a few minutes if you don't mind putting, watching the custom marketing plan that we've got for you. I know you found me on Yelp, but there's some other additional Yelp reviews. And there's another video that I interviewed and went out and talked about 10 of my clients. So why choose Eric Hatch? I'd love to have you watch that beforehand. And so when you walk in and before you even sit at the counter and they say, wow, that was impressive marketing video you sent. That just gave you this huge head and shoulders a head start over anyone else because you gave them a pre-package, kind of a pre-listing package of stuff that they could go watch and be able to do. And I know we've shared this with you before, so there are some classes on that we can do too. Still considering selling. VIP. There was team templates, and these you'll find actually, guys, your templates, these were already all pre-programmed in here that your CRM will have all sorts of templates. So you can kind of come in and go, yeah, I kind of like that, or you use the star or the little toggle switch and you can change a little bit better or tweak a little bit. But you've got to go in and just use these and utilize these, because what's really fun here is these are all onesies, one-on-ones. But now what will actually allow me to do is I can actually go into my CRM system and drop them into a smart plan that I can actually now drop them into a birthday, a home anniversary video and things, or put them on a 6-drip that they're going to get a video email from me every week until they actually finally call me or delete me or spam me or say I'm out, But, the deal is, guys, is that there's too many times this year, and it's probably up to maybe 30 grand that I know that I've lost by people who that I know that indirectly that I missed, or I wasn't the first agent to call, or sorry, we actually already are meeting with somebody. I think we're just going to go with them. So just it's speed to the lead. And so it drives me nuts. So I'll bug the heck out of somebody. If somebody put in their information and wants to know about the value of their home and they don't pick up 2-3 phone calls and they're not picking it up, I'm hounding them, and I'm going to put, in a polite way, of course, but I want to be when all of a sudden they realize, because you'll get them a month later, they'll call, hey, you've been sending, oh, I did that. It was last week. Somebody calls, you've been sending me a lot of stuff. And I usually don't call back people, but I don't know if we've ever met, but I don't know how we got connected, but I just wanted to introduce myself because you're the one that keeps following up with me. And I thought I would just give you a call, and this is what I'm looking for. And so it's like, and he was very polite. Some people will just say, please, never, in capital letters, never call me again, or never, or just looking. And I love that. It's like, oh, you're just looking. That's great. Well, let me know if you want me to send you some homes. I'd be happy to. Oh yeah. Could you send me some homes between this price point? Oh, I thought you were just looking. So you never know. I mean, the code word, if is just looking, somebody, if they're just looking, do you really think that, am I just going to, if I was going to go buy a car, am I just going to kind of get on a website and spend time just to go look at a car just because I'm just kind of looking? I have at least 5% interest of purchasing a car. Why would somebody do that? I'm not going to go on and look at Christmas pajamas or something if I'm not really going to buy Christmas pajamas, which I have a whole set of them and I don't wear them, but Shannon likes to dress us all up on Christmas morning. So it's good. All right. So I want to share, okay, 37, we have a few more minutes. I want to share on this template here on smart. There's a smart plan that he's all up. This is Eric Hatch. I've got him set as a buyer seller. I've got him in a test, so I can actually come in and I can change him to anything I want Eric to be. I'm not expired yet, so it'll leave me there. So I could actually test email, and I want to send and test these out. So, but here's my transaction that I have a transaction, and I know we talked about checklist, but this is kind of where, let's see, did I not apply? And so here is my checklist that I can apply a checklist to me. And so now if you do have somebody working, or if you're by yourself, you can actually say, here I am. So here's my pre-listing. Okay, I sent the pre-listing video. What's next? Okay, schedule my listing appointment. Thank you for meeting me video. Seller, this is 105 steps. And so I actually changed my marketing plan when I recorded it the other day and I have 105 steps that I need to do to sell your home, or, to sell it for top dollar, however you want to label that. I add them to Chime. I'm going to go search and hunt them down on Friends and Facebook and Instagram. So to be friends with them, because I sold a house, maybe earlier this year, that this lady, she was my 5th grade band music choir teacher. And so we've been she just goes, Eric, I've been kind of watching you on Facebook and I want you to come sell my house. So you never know. So I try to put everybody and anybody that could be on your social media there. So what happens, I'll check these off and they disappear, and then it will go into, and then if it turns into an active listing, I hit this one, then under contract and pending. And so now I have everything that I want. You guys, this is stuff. It's like print listing agreement, fill out folders. How many times have you guys ever done a listing and all of a sudden you get a call from the other agent, go, hey, are you ever going to come pick up your sign? What happened? So it's like, oh, so sorry, I'll be right over to pick the sign up. It's like, especially when you're the listing agent and the other, the buyer calls you and goes, hey, are you going to come get your sign? So it doesn't make you look really good. So here it is. Here's a checklist, getting my lockbox, getting keys, putting it into Ametree and doing my MLS and getting my Matterport, install sign, lockbox, schedule my 30-day meeting. So I want to schedule this, guys. You're going to get listings now that are going to sit on the market for 30 days. So I want to say, okay, 30-day mark. And so what I do is I take videos and I'll go into the MLS, I'll go into it, open up another CMA, open another CMA, and I'm doing another CMA with them and showing them what houses actually have sold and since we listed your property, and say, guys, here it is, and it actually makes you get some really nice price reductions if you need to, because sometimes, it's a seller price kind of price. And so I'll say, guys, since we listed the house for the last 30 days, there's only 2 of them that have gone pending in our price range. So that means we did lose 2 buyers. So why did we lose 2 buyers? And I explain that. But if you can go and say, Guys, there hasn't been one $1.6 million home that's gone pending in the last 30 days. So that makes the buyer or the seller aware of what's kind of happening in the market. It's like they just think that everything around them selling like crazy. Why is my house not selling? And so you give them the tools that they need to understand what the market's doing, and it's showing, guys, we didn't lose any buyers because nobody's bought anything. Or yes, we've lost like 6 buyers actually that have come in on this example on my listing. We had 2 of them. So I said, maybe we lost those 2. So maybe we need to like reduce our price, because now look at the solds here. They actually were a little bit lower. They were actually 3 bedrooms. We're actually 2 bedrooms. So we need to do a price adjustment here. And he calls me up and goes, okay, how much? What do you want to do? So these are things, just keeping them organized. So there's my Avid. This is one that just drives me nuts, but there it is. Because my TC is always asking me for my Avid. Do a Zillow 3D. If you aren't doing the Zillow 3Ds, they're real easy. You just go on, there's an app on Zillow that you just go on there. You just kind of walk around the house and, scan every room, and it just, boom, it pops in there. So that's kind of an easy thing to do. And so you can do that. So these are just checklists, guys, that I would definitely do it. And, and I feel that this after the closed is the most important, asking for your review email. And yeah, 7 days later, guess what? I'm going with my second one. Another day, I'm going my third. I'm going my 4. People, the Monday morning at 7 a.m., Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., I'm saying goodbye to a client up that we sold his house in their driveway. Oh, I haven't got to that yet. I promise I'm going to do, a nice review. You've been amazing. We absolutely love you. It's like, okay, it's like, record this. So I want to hear this. And so they let me take a picture. So it was really exciting to give them a gift. But now their lives are getting busy. They're unpacking another house in Oregon. And so, so that's why I go, okay, just a friendly reminder, another friendly reminder. Love that. And so I shared this with you. If they do give you a review on one of the platforms, then I send them another email saying, you're on a roll. Thank you so much for giving that amazing review on Yelp. Oh, I would love to have you. Here's the link to Zillow, and here's the link to Rate My Agent. Love to have you actually put that in there. Please, if you don't mind, just taking a few minutes of your time, just copy and paste, please. And so you keep asking for it, and eventually they'll do. I think, what'd you do the other day? Madison went back like a year. Yeah, there was one that actually posted on our Facebook yesterday. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but we closed him like 7 months ago. And so, now I have another review on there that 7 months ago, he actually put a really nice review. So, and I shared this with Jody yesterday, which I love, is that all of you guys here who are listening, you know who you are. But do other people know? Like, I know the sweet love and the family that Jessica comes from, and the person that she is. So if I wrote a review about Jessica, I would say those things in that review, and you will find things that people will start saying things, typing things, video in their video testimonials, certain things about you, that something's going to pop up to the top, whether it's be kindness, whether it be integrity, whether it be he always answers his phone, whether it be whatever it might be. But then it starts building this character about you, and that's kind of what will stand out in most of your reviews, which is kind of fun. And people will see those on Yelp and Zillow. So this is the biggest key right here to get your business growing, is you need to beg people to give you reviews, because they will do it. They just get busy, but you got to keep reminding them to do so. Customer photo out in front of the home, a video BombBomb testimonial. You could actually get crazy, because I know Sarah's emailed back on a BombBomb, but in BombBomb it actually says, do you want to send back an email via video? So you can encourage them. Hey guys, just wanted to remind you, if you don't mind actually replying back to this, hit the button on the upper left that says respond back to Eric Hatch, and just hit click that on that and just go, tell me about, or tell others why you actually chose me. If you don't mind doing that for about 2 minutes, that'd be great. Thank you. Who knows? They might open that up and respond back, go, oh yeah, we just sold our house with Eric. He was da-da-da-da. Boom. You just have some social media kind of stuff that you can just plant all over the place. Of course, you're not telling them that you're going to send it to 8,500 people in the world, but it's good. I always be special. I do different things. I always, send a video or send it, make sure you're thanking that title officer, because you're going to build long lasting relationships with these people. So, these are just templates that are here to help on the checklist of boom, 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 boom. And you just kind of go through. And I did designate my son, I want him to have some money at college, even though he's been really too busy right now, but to do things, but I'll designate some things for him to do and add the birthday. Cause this is really important that now, as I shared with you, I got to go back into Chime and I got to change, or your CRM, I got to change them and put them into the right categories of where I need to be able to communicate, to be able to stay connected with them. So, all right. Any questions on this before I share screen? You good? I'm going to stop sharing. All right. So, all right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you. If you guys have any questions at all, I'm always free to, talk to people. I'm always free. I know Christine called and asked me a question the other day and said, hey, what do you think about this program or whatever? And so, I'm happy to share my 26 years of just fun and excitement of what programs that I've used and what worked and what didn't. And you just don't have to recreate the wheel, because it's all there for you. All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys. You guys have
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. Have a blessed weekend. And let's see. So next week, are we doing something on Black Friday? Because that would be next week, the day after Thanksgiving. Are we sleeping?
I won't be attending.
Office is closed. All right. So we won't do anything next Friday. So if you hear anybody or somebody wasn't here, spread the word that we will be enjoying the holidays with family. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Guys.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Thank you, Eric. This was so helpful.
You're welcome. It's good to see you back. Thank you. We'll have to talk about the trip. I'm excited to hear about wherever you stayed, those pictures I saw with castles and stuff.
Oh my God, it was amazing.